When it comes to overwhelm, sometimes the definition of it is important, because once we know what something is, we can start to address it. Similar with healing, if we have an awareness of a problem, then we can actually start to address the problem. If we have no awareness of the problem, then we don't know what to address, or even if there is a problem in the first place. When we have a trauma overwhelm, there's going to be many different problems that are happening within the body that also impede the function of the mind. One of the intensifying, overwhelming symptoms of trauma is a dissociative state. Being asked to go into a dissociative state to actually deal with overwhelm kind of lacks, once again, that understanding, that knowledge about what trauma is. The dissociation that you're being asked to go into is the actual response to trauma. Typically, when you show up to therapy and you're in a dissociative state, so that could mean that your emotions are feeling numb. You can't feel any of your emotions. You're just sort of in a bland state or a dissociated state. Or you might be disassociated from your body, so your physical state. And you can't actually feel into your body, because what is happening within your body is the reliving of the trauma. So you're not actually feeling safe within your body. So you'll escape the reality of your body. Long term, you can lead into things like dissociative identity disorder. So you form a different identity, and it becomes what's known as DID, dissociative identity disorder. When we go into EFT tapping, thinking about setup statements is not actually going to be beneficial in that state, because in that state, if you've ever experienced a panic attack, if you've ever experienced shock, this is the states that you'll be going into within this. Or you might go into a complete shutdown response and just be non-responsive. So you might have a flat effect. You might be hearing what the person is saying, but you're not actually connected to your body, because you're in that dissociative state, because your body is still within that trauma. A part of going into therapy to actually help the person to actually deal with that rational mind, to actually deal with what's happening for them in their body, we actually need to ground the person first, because you can't deal with someone when they are in a dissociative state or even in an overwhelmed state. So it's going to be very hard to engage with a person that is not feeling safe within their body. Trauma is a fragmentation of self, and we want to bring that sense of self back within our container of our body. We don't want to encourage a dissociative state. So grounding, we're bringing back the person very slowly, because once again, when there's an intensity in the body, you don't rush these things, you go slowly. EFT tapping has this. It's called the 9 Gamut Technique. And it's a way, either before a session or after a session, to actually bring the person into their body. So back into their cognitive mind and back within their body, so they can start to feel safer and more present. And when you're more present, you're more receptive to information that's being told to you, rather than being so on guard or hyper alert all the time, or starting to go into hypo arousal. And that's where the dissociative state starts to happen. So even in things like EMDR, they have, which is a trauma treatment, they have what's known as the window of tolerance. EFT tapping has similar, the SUD scale, the subjective unit of distress scale, from 0 to 10. Where are you on that scale? We want to know, because we want to know where the level of intensity is going. If it's getting too high, we want to start to bring you back into, or start to change the EFT tapping techniques to deal with that. We just don't want to continue to the point that you become overwhelmed. Things like somatic experiencing have this. They have their own form of tapping, where it's literally tapping on your body to bring awareness that your body exists. Because when you are in that dissociative state, you're not even aware that your body exists. So you could be feeling pain and not even be aware of it. So it's not a good thing to be actually encouraging, as dissociation is a reaction of trauma. So the container of your body, the 9 Gamut Technique, I've actually shown this in videos. I've shown it in a video, I think it was on emotional overwhelm, but I'll demonstrate it here. So you have your pinky, and there's the soft spot between, so you've got those two tendons, and then you've got the soft spot in between there. And what we're doing is we're tapping in there, and we're wanting to bring both hemispheres of the brain back online. And we're also wanting to get the thinking mind a little bit going. So it's a process That does activate also the polyvagal, because there is a bit of the left and right scanning our peripheral vision to know that things are safe. And it goes like this. So eyes closed, eyes open, eyes hard right, eyes hard left, keeping your head still and moving your eyes in a clockwise direction. Now in an anti-clockwise direction. Humming any tune that comes to mind. And stopping. Counting back from 20 in twos, 18, 16, 14. Okay, stopping. And now humming any tune that comes to mind. And stopping. And once again, we check in with the person, see where they're feeling within their body. Are they starting to become a little bit more present? Are they starting to become a little bit more grounded? And then if not, then we repeat. So we're starting to bring the person back within their body. We're grounding them because they've escaped their body, their senses. We're bringing that back into that fragmentation of self. We're starting to bring it more present back within the body. And when they're back more within the body, then we can start to address the setup statements. Then we can address where things started to trigger. And with our subjective unit of stress scale, we're also keeping score of where the trauma is sitting in the body. So if you're tapping away, we're tapping on something quite intense, and then you're starting to go like this, and you're closing your eyes, that's a symptom of we need to stop and check in. Because if you're closing your eyes, something is starting to become overwhelmed. We want you present. We want to be able to see what's happening for you. So there is going to be also physical symptoms. There might be raising of the shoulders. There might be struggling to swallow as the body starts to process this trauma. And we also want to be able to know that that intensity, that you're present, that you haven't closed your eyes and it started to escape, started to go into that dissociative state, that things have become overwhelming. Similar with a massage, you don't want to over massage a tense muscle because you'll cause more damage to the muscle. So we don't want to over stir things up because we'll also overwhelm the nervous system. So normally about 2 days after an EFT tapping session, or depending on the therapy, you want to allow it's a process of what's called integration. You want to allow the sensations to integrate within your mind and the body, so we don't stir things up and overwhelm the body once again. So even post EFT tapping, a way of dealing with overwhelm is allowing the sensations to settle. And that might be through things of just going for a walk, doing things that you enjoy. If you enjoy art, doing creative things, it doesn't necessarily mean go straight into another therapy. It means just allowing the body to settle. So yeah, because even like sometimes when we become aware of things that we weren't aware of, that can create a little bit of stress. So it's having those techniques post a therapy to actually manage or mitigate some of these feelings that are happening for us. So even before you step into an EFT tapping session or any type of therapy, we want to be grounded. We want to bring the person back from any sort of dissociative state that they're in, so that they're present within their mind and the body. And once they're present, then you're actually able to do therapy that is conducive and helpful because the present, their attention is on you. And even after a session, you can go into grounding, or even after the session has ended, you kind of want that integration process to happen so that your mind and body can settle. Basically, you've shaken something up and you want it to settle. You don't want to open up the can straight away. It'll explode. Your emotions, you'll become overwhelmed. Thank you for watching. I'm Dion from Eflowtion Support Services. I do offer EFT tapping one-on-one online through eflowtionsupport.com. There's a booking section there, and you can book in when there is availability. Stay your grounded, healthy selves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.